Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Here in Australia, we are so far behind when it comes to the whole transgender madness. In fact, we're so far in front. We want to push this stuff. It is actually really ridiculous. I have been seeing Australia plunge so deep into the darkness recently. They're not even bothering to look at what's going on in other countries like the UK, which is like where Australia really originated from. Like the motherland is the UK, believe it or not. And at least the UK has done one thing right and banned puberty blockers for new patients. Let's just point that out. They haven't banned it for existing patients. They've banned it for new patients, which is still good. Not gonna lie, but it's still like you've still got to ban it for every single person. Like you can't just keep giving puberty blockers to the new patients and then on one end go, oh, it's bad. We shouldn't be giving it at all. Then why are you still giving it to people? Like you're saying, oh, we can't give it to the new patients because we know it's bad, but you know what? We're going to continue giving it to the existing patients because they're stuck. No, you stop it. Full stop. Anyway, in Australia, we have a hospital that is offering gender affirming care, which is not actually care. It's butchery and it's madness to toddlers, so young children as young as 3 years old. How ridiculous is this? And guess where it is, ladies and gentlemen? Have a guess. Which state in Australia it's in? Melbourne. Yes, woke Melbourne. Australia's wokest and craziest state. By the way, I really do feel for the Melburnians because their economy at the moment is up shit's creek, thanks to the former Premier, Dictator Dan, and now the new Premier, Jacinda Allen. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And they're trying to fix the hole, but they can't. They really can't. Melbourne's Royal Children's Hospital is offering gender-affirming care for children as young as 3 in a move described by one Liberal senator as incredibly concerning. Well, it's more than just incredibly concerning. It's pure and utter evil. Psychiatrists and specialist gender identity clinicians will work alongside children aged 3 to 17 as long as they have a referral from a GP. Age 3 to 17, this age demographic, none of them, none, are able to consent to any of this stuff. They're not even adults yet. But no, we're going to do it. We're going to refer them to a GP, and the GP is going to refer them to this gender identity specialist. Like when you put gender identity into the mix, you've already lost. It is so far backwards. It's crazy. Treatments for young children who are yet to reach puberty. So you're going to give them this gender affirming care madness before they've even reached puberty. You're going to castrate them before they've even developed gonads. Focus on gender affirmation and talking to the child and their family, as well as ensuring adequate support is in place both at school and at home. Let me just say this. If you are trying to trans your child, you have no business being anywhere near that child because what you are doing is actual abuse. Plain and simple. But of course, parents don't see it as that. They're just trying to do whatever they possibly can to help their child who is confused. Your child is 3 years old. Like, seriously? Be the adult, grow up, and actually train up the child in the right way that he or she should go. You know what? The Bible says he will not depart from it later on. But parents are neglecting that. No, can't train up the child in the way that he or she should go. Nah, can't do that. You know what we're going to do? We're going to butcher them. As children age and reach puberty, the Royal Children's Hospital Gender Service has a broader range of treatments available, including castration, including removal of breasts, removal of one's puberty, everything like that. The first step, known as stage 1. Oh, fantastic. Is to introduce puberty blockers. There we go. A reversible. No, it's not. I think Daily Mail, you should change that. It is not reversible, and we know that. Look what's happening over in the UK, the cash report, everything links to that. It's not reversible and it's dangerous. So it's available, unfortunately, to children in the early stages of puberty. Should not be available at all. Should be gotten rid of and done away with. Later, around the age of 16, the clinic is able to move on to stage 2, which involves using gender-affirming hormones. I love how they put affirming, estrogen or testosterone, cross-sex hormones, to change the body to be more consistent with the teenager's affirmed gender. How nuts is that? The final stage, surgery, is generally not undertaken until adulthood, except they do still do it. Liberal Senator Claire Chandler told Daily Mail Australia she was concerned by the idea that a child's gender is being assessed based partially on what toys they play with or clothes they want to wear or what the child says, just randomly. It is very worrying to see a health provider promoting the ideology that 2- and 3-year-olds' preferences in clothing, toys, or games represents a gender identity. So let me put this into perspective. When I was a little kid and I went to the doctor's office, me and my older brother, we would go into the play area and we would pull apart the heads of Barbie dolls. Does that make us, it's just because a child decides to play with them and not destroy them, that somehow means that the child is a girl. No, it hurts my brain. It hurts. It really does. I'm sick of this. Across the world, many doctors, psychiatrists, detransitioners, people who begin gender transition but later seek to reverse the changes, and expert reviews are sounding the alarm about the youth gender medicine industry. It's incredibly concerning that in Australia, these alarms are being ignored and children are being put on pathways towards irreversible and potentially dangerous drugs and surgeries. The hospital's gender dysphoria spreadsheet states that children begin expressing their gender identity at 2 or 3 years of age. There's no such thing as gender identity, for goodness sake. Just drop it. What is this nonsense? Oh, I don't reflect the gender I was or the biological sex that I was born as, so I'm going to come up with this fandangle phrase known as gender identity. It's my identity, man. Don't touch my identity. Get away from it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. They do this via preferences for clothing, toys, and interests, but the hospital notes it's normal for children to experiment with gender roles, and many will not desire any form of transition. Yeah, right. So we're going to just force it on them. Huh? For others, living in their this whole idea of being assigned a gender at birth is nuts. No, sex is observed when you are born. Role is extremely distressing. In these cases, it is important for families to discuss with their child or teenager what they need to do to protect their physical and mental well-being and consider seeking professional assistance. For many transgender children, which there aren't any, and teenagers, the onset of puberty with the development of secondary sex characteristics, breasts, changing voice, etc., and don't match their gender identity, it can't. Because the gender identity thing is made up, is a particularly distressing time. It's distressing because you're believing an utter and downright lie. That's why it's distressing. You're going, this lie that I want to make real, I want it to be real, but it's not real. So I'm stuck now with something that is real and I don't like it. Gender affirming care is the act of acknowledging and treating a patient within their perceived gender without question. Yeah, we're not going to question what is actually right. We're not going to question any of that. Nah, we're just going to take it on face value that a 3-year-old knows what their preferred gender is, even though a 3-year-old doesn't know what they want for dinner, like they're a 3-year-old. In young people, this primarily revolves around assuring both school and home are safe, nurturing spaces, and that both parents and children are informed about how to best approach the situation. Recently, psychiatrist Dr. Andrew Amos said Australia's rapid expanding gender affirming medical care is unconscionable. Agree. The reality is that we simply don't know how many kids change their minds. That, like, literally every kid. This is particularly damaging because medical surgical transition require lifelong care with potentially catastrophic effects of detransitioning later in life. The hospital said it can be difficult for parents to know when it is time to seek professional help, but that the usual warning sign is when a child begins to display ongoing distress about their gender. Children under the age of 16 require parents to attend appointments with them. Rachel Wong of Women's Forum Australia warned her followers that gender ideology is being pushed on Australian children from every angle, from our education and healthcare systems to entertainment and drag queen story time in libraries. It doesn't stop, man. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it only stops if we keep talking about it and we keep raising alarms about it. But kids as young as 3, man, good grief, Australia. What in the world are you doing? Especially Melbourne. Anyway, thanks, guys, for watching. You guys take care. Be blessed. And I'll see you all in the next video.